In the early 90s, BuildOn's founder and CEO Jim Zolkowski was backpacking around the developing world when he came upon a village in Nepal that was in the midst of a 2-day celebration for the opening of a school. For the last several months, he had witnessed the immense suffering caused by extreme poverty, but in this village, he saw something different. He saw the hope and courage of a community, and it all revolved around education. When he got back to the US, he could not shake those memories of poverty abroad, and he was more acutely aware of poverty faced by many urban youth here in America. But he also understood that through hope, optimism, and determination, communities could change. So he started BuildOn to empower urban youth and rural villagers to break the cycle of poverty, illiteracy, and low expectations through service and education. We want to unlock the potential of under-resourced communities around the globe through service and education. Our ultimate goal is for the urban teens and the villagers we work with to form a new generation of leaders, of future teachers, of business leaders, activists, and artists, to build a generation of people who believe that together we can change the world. We're working to accomplish this through after-school service programs in the US, and by engaging communities in developing countries to build schools where they are most needed. To get there, we need to expand our programs in each of our impact areas to develop deeper, more meaningful relationships with schools, communities, and countries. When we reach more students or build more schools in a targeted area, we can create a tipping point for change. A unique aspect of BuildOn is the connection we build between U.S. inner cities and villages in developing countries. When we take U.S. students to help build schools in places like Africa, Haiti, or Nepal, they begin to understand the underlying reasons for poverty and develop a deeper appreciation for education, lessons they bring home and apply to their own communities. One of the most effective things about BuildOn is that our programs are driven by the individuals and communities our programs are meant to serve, from the bottom up. Each community where we build schools has complete ownership over the project. They form a leadership team to manage the project, and they contribute all of the unskilled labor to build the school. In the U.S., student voice is a very important component of our programs. The students tell us what issues they want to address in their communities through service, and we give them the tools to do it. Through this strategy, the students and villagers we work with learn the power they have to affect change and begin to see themselves as a solution rather than the problem. A few of the most important metrics we track include the number of students participating in our programs, service hours completed, and their graduation rates. Internationally, we track the number of volunteer workdays contributed to build a school, school attendance, as well as knowledge gains in areas like health and basic economics. Additionally, we work with outside independent evaluators like Brandeis University and the Academy of Educational Development to measure the success of our programs. One of the areas that has been the most critical to our success, but is not commonly discussed, is the power of our highly qualified staff. Each of our staff members come to us with a unique and highly developed skill set. Many have a master's degree in youth development, social work, or education, key for working with at-risk youth. Many are also former Peace Corps volunteers and have extensive experience leading students on trips to developing countries. Finding the right staff members is key to making sure that dedication is high and turnover is low. We want to create a consistent and supportive environment for our youth while developing deep roots in the communities where we work. Since 1991, we have partnered with rural villages to build more than 543 schools around the world, and BuildOn students have contributed over 1 million hours of service in the U.S. We work in schools where only half of the student population will graduate. But 94% of BuildOn seniors not only graduate, but go on to college. One of our biggest challenges is building awareness. For the first 20 years of our organization, we concentrated on developing programs that were effective and scalable. In order to create a true movement, we need everyone involved: students, government, school districts, and citizens. That only happens with awareness. With additional resources, we'd scale deeper into communities and into schools. In the U.S., we've made a strategic decision to increase our presence in our partner high schools, moving from just after-school service to adding in-school service, and from serving an average of 25 students per school to over 150 per school. This allows us to make a greater impact in each community where we work. We're currently only building primary schools in rural villages around the world, but there's a huge need for secondary schools as well. For many students, girls in particular, even if they make it through primary school, secondary schools are often out of a student's reach because of distance and cost. With additional resources, we'd like to pilot secondary schools in communities where we've already built primary schools, so students may continue their education.